Right now on Fox 43 Featured, gas price increase. Costs to fill up around the nation continue to rise. How South Central PA drivers are reacting. Plus, data center clarification. A Cumberland County farm is clearing the air when it comes to where they stand with a proposed data center in the area. Now, an online claim brought them into the discussion. And community support. An animal shelter is asking for assistance after rescuing nearly 100 animals from a Lancaster County home. How you can help. Well, thanks for joining us for Fox 43 Featured. I'm Sidon Meadows. Over the next half hour, we'll be going over some of our top stories of the week. More pain at the pump as gas prices in Pennsylvania hit a new high this week, averaging $4.33 a gallon. Fox 43's James Corrigan spoke with drivers and experts on how much they're losing and what could come next.
Cumberland County residents are flocking to a site that's become almost a myth in Pennsylvania. But instead of a unicorn or a leprechaun, they've come to take in one of the only gas stations on record in central Pennsylvania with gas under $4 a gallon.
Super rare, yeah.
Whenever we see a good price, I stop no matter where I'm at and fill up.
Those days are rare for Don Petrak, whose carpentry business sees him travel throughout the area. As the state reached its highest average price for the year of $4.33 a gallon, a 22-cent jump from just last week.
I could before be able to go with $75 to $80 on a week's travel, and that's not happening anymore. We're, several $100s per month.
For Paxtonia resident Ruth Rosario, the high costs have forced her to make difficult sacrifices.
I've been not going to my doctor's appointment because the gas is too expensive to travel around. Yeah.
It could be getting worse after the benchmark price of crude oil today reached a 4-year high, surpassing $120 a barrel. It marks the biggest surge since the war in Iran began 2 months ago. And experts say when oil prices rise, gas is soon to follow.
Drivers can expect gas prices to go up if crude continues to go up. They can try to bundle their trips together to save on the mileage they're putting on their car. They may want to choose maybe not to do some trips or maybe not to drive so far.
That option isn't available for business owners like Petrak, who says he'll likely find himself more in the red even when he gets lucky and finds a lower price.
It's been coming off the top of my budget. Plain and simple. I just hope that they get this under control and we be able to at least get moderate pricing. I mean, the pricing, there's no end to it.
James Corrigan, Fox 43 News.
With the summer 2026 construction season on the horizon, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation is looking ahead to some important projects. PennDOT officials gathered on Wednesday at the District 8 office in Dauphin County to preview some upcoming projects. It comes as crews prepare to break ground on the $1 billion replacement of the Interstate 83 John Harris Memorial Bridge, a project officials are calling one of the largest the department has ever undertaken. The bridge replacement is just one of 110 construction projects planned for this year in the district. Officials also highlighted worker safety as a top priority.
Everything we do at PennDOT is ultimately about safety. But when it comes to construction, safety is crucial. One misstep, one distraction, one choice can change lives forever. In addition to the ongoing I-83
continues stressing the importance of safe driving in work zones, noting that 4 contractors were killed on the job between 2024 and 2025. Franklin County commissioners are one step closer to adopting new rules for how data centers could be built in communities without local zoning, after public pressure prompted major changes to the proposal. The meeting comes after commissioners delayed a vote on the matter earlier this month to revise the proposal based on public feedback. On Tuesday, residents continued pushing for stronger environmental safeguards. One of the biggest changes, commissioners removed a requirement that data center developers generate 25% of their own energy, saying the solar land needed could take up thousands of additional acres. That decision drew immediate criticism from some residents who argued it weakens one of the few major deterrents to large-scale development.
It is important to recognize that the land used for solar could easily be returned to agricultural use, or it can be co-opted and grazed simultaneously. Land converted to large-scale data campuses cannot be.
County leaders say the ordinance is meant to give townships without their own zoning rules a framework to manage where data centers can go. The final vote is scheduled for May 20th, though commissioners say the ordinance could still be amended later. Well, in Cumberland County, the Middlesex Township Planning Commission approved the next phase of the PAX 1 data center. Developers presented Phase 1B of the project this week. It involves a 6-building data center campus on a 700-acre property along Country Club Road. Construction of the facility's substation is getting underway. People continue to share their concerns about the noise from construction. The preliminary plan will now be sent to the Township Board of Supervisors. A final vote is scheduled for Wednesday. Well, the owner of a local business is speaking out after their name got mixed into an online debate on data centers. People were calling to boycott Ashcombe Farm and greenhouses in Monroe Township, believing that they were selling their land to a data center company. The owners of the nursery took to social media to explain the land they own is completely separate from where the data center is being proposed. And that confusion comes from the broad use of Ashcombe in the area.
Ashcombe is not a trademark name. It was for the land in this area that was covered with ash trees. So there's the Ashcombe Mansion, the Ashcombe Neighborhood, the Ashcombe Dairy, and the Ashcombe Garden Center. So all sharing the same name, but different companies altogether.
The owners share they will be sure to make sure that they will be sure to be at the meetings regarding the potential data center moving forward. The next meeting to discuss the matter is scheduled for June 11th at the Monroe Township Building. And a new report by the American Lung Association says data centers are contributing to air pollution. The findings point to the amount of diesel-powered backup generators used at the centers as the primary cause. The same report shows that millions of Pennsylvanians are already breathing unhealthy air. The Harrisburg, York, and Lebanon areas all received a failing grade in the report. In other news, an animal rescue group is in need of supplies after taking in more than 90 animals from a Lancaster County home last week. Fox 43's Robert Stover visited Mainline Animal Rescue and has an update on some of the animals' condition and how you can help.
Meet Magnolia, just one of nearly 100 animals removed from a West Hempfield Township home last week. In total, 93 animals were removed from the property, including 76 dogs and puppies, 15 cats and kittens, and 2 Flemish rabbits.
Sit down, sit down. Sit down.
SPCA Mainline Animal Rescue Site Director Lisa Maggio describes the incident as heartbreaking.
There's memorable ones, but this was a very memorable, just from the sheer number of animals that we brought in between our headquarters location and here at Mainline Animal Rescue.
These images show the condition of some animals at the time of their removal. More than 30 dogs and a dozen cats were taken to Mainline in Chester County for triage, while the rest were taken to SPCA headquarters.
The common conditions were extreme skin conditions, scabies, dermatitis, mange, a lot of matting, and there was fecal embedded in many of the dogs.
Right now the group is in its alteration phase with the animals, which includes spay and neutering. Some are already adoptable.
Our seniors sometimes get overlooked because of the excitement of having that puppy, but they nonetheless need all the love and they need their forever home as well.
Taking care of so many animals requires a lot of time and resources. And with kitten season just around the corner, Mainline is asking for some necessary items like cat carriers, among other things.
Some of the immediate needs were like treats and blankets and soft e-collars, black N95 masks, as well as what we call ruffling crates.
Local agencies, like West Hempfield Township Police Department, have already donated. The township's fire and rescue is accepting items from now until May 2nd. Anyone interested in donating, fostering, or adopting can contact Mainline directly.
We're here as an organization to make that a reality for them.
Information on how to do that can be found on fox43.com. Robert Stover, Fox 43 News.
A group of organizations are teaming up to help combat hunger and food insecurity in York County. The York Revolution are once again partnering with the York County Food Bank and Members First Credit Union to host their annual Hunger-Free Thursdays. Revs fans who donate a non-perishable food item to the food bank at either Wellstand Stadium or one of the food bank's participating locations get a free ticket to watch a Thursday home game. With more than 100 participating locations across the county, Hunger-Free Thursdays gives both local organizations and community members a chance to give back.
We're all about giving back to the community in any way we can, and this partnership is just one of the ways that we can give back to the community and really give fans an opportunity to give back to the community.
New York County Food Bank hopes to collect 2,200 pounds of food by the end of the season, which would be the equivalent of 1,800 meals. A York County family spent weeks searching for answers after their 10-year-old developed a constant debilitating headache. Coming up, how the family finally found relief. A York County family says they spent weeks searching for answers after their 10-year-old daughter developed a constant debilitating headache that no one could explain. In this week's Health Smart Report, Fox 43's Amy Lutz shares their story about how they finally found answers and relief.
It may not look like much, but for 10-year-old May Lily, this treatment is part of what finally brought relief after months of constant pain. It all started with a headache.
May came home from school one day and she just said, I don't feel well and I have a headache. And we just assumed, she's just not feeling well, but then that headache just didn't go away.
Her mom, Kelly, says doctor visits stacked up, scans, tests, even a hospital stay.
I took her to many, many specialists and everybody sort of had a different answer.
It made me feel unseen. I was thinking to myself, can I just bang my head into the wall or can I just chop it off? It was so much pain.
Doctors suggested powerful medications, even a spinal tap, but nothing felt right. That is until a coworker suggested seeing Dr. Adam Harcourt at the Harcourt Brain Center in York.
I want you to look right here and just follow my thumb in and out. Good, okay. 5 minutes into the exam, we go, this doesn't look like migraine. This looks way more like concussion.
That's when everything clicked.
Her face lit up and she said, Mom, before all this started, I was hit in the head with a basketball at recess.
A small moment completely forgotten, and Dr. Harcourt says that happens more than you think.
The next probably 2 months, I saw about 5 more people with the exact same story, swore up and down they never got hit, and I always tell them, I said, I don't think you're lying to me. I think you just got hit in the head and forgot. And we can tighten that up if it's too loose.
From there, treatment began, including therapies like the one you see here.
We did that, vestibular rehabilitation, we used low-level laser therapy, we also used peripheral nerve stimulation.
It's basically physical therapy for the brain, and the results were almost immediate.
I did the week, and I felt better instantly. Now, I feel like it never ever happened.
For her mom, the biggest takeaway is to trust your instincts, and when answers don't come easily, keep asking questions.
Think outside the box and know your child.
Because for May, finding the right answer didn't just end the pain, it gave her her life back. For more information on the Harcourt Brain Center, I've put a link on our website, fox43.com. With your Health Smart Report, Amy Lutz, Fox 43 News.
An interactive experience in Cumberland County is helping people better understand the realities of human trafficking and how it can impact communities close to home. It's not your typical presentation, though. This human trafficking simulation puts participants in a real-world scenario, giving them a closer look at how trafficking happens and who it affects. The event, hosted by the YWCA Carlisle and Cumberland County, is part of Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Child Abuse Prevention Month. Organizers say one of their main goals is to break common misconceptions, including the idea that trafficking only happens somewhere else.
It can happen to anyone, and I think we get lost in the stranger danger of those big what ifs, but it can happen day to day. So these types of events and awareness really brings the conversation to normal times and get folks to really see things that are actually happening.
Leaders with the YWCA say in South Central PA, access to Interstate 83 and the Turnpike make it a hot spot, specifically among the especially vulnerable. And they stress everyone has a role to play in prevention, and there are tools available to help, including the 24/7 human trafficking hotline. A local organization is teaching those with intellectual and developmental disabilities how to stay in shape. Their mission to bring fitness to all after the break. It's called the Champions in Motion program, and it offers fitness opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Fox 43's Lauren Bradford shows us how Anytime Fitness Shrewsbury is partnering up with Penmar Human Services to offer fitness to all.
It's graduation day for Anytime Fitness's Champions in Motion program participants.
I feel like a mom. Like I feel silly that I was like crying, being able to do that, just to see them light up and feel so proud of themselves, and feel like they belong somewhere and they accomplished something.
The program partners with Penmar, designed to teach individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities how to build strength and confidence.
We wanted to show people that everybody can work out, right? Everybody's welcome. I thought it would be an awesome way to partnership with Penmar Human Services to really allow them to feel like they belong and help build confidence and strength along the way.
It is really great coming out here. It's really excellent. I mean, I love coming out here. I love spending time working out. I love doing the things that we're doing.
Over 8 sessions, the group learned healthy habits while easing into their fitness journey.
Squat, all the way sit, and back up.
It's been amazing. It's been, wonderful to see them progress and grow, starting off with basic exercises to all the way advancing to more, harder exercises like sled pushes. And it's just been amazing to see the growth that they've participated in.
Now it's time to take what they've learned and put it to use.
They're going to go home and they're not just going to be sedentary. They're learning to do their squats and stuff like that when they're sitting and watching TV.
It's crucial because a lot of these people, if they don't move, they lose a lot of ability, and it's essential to get moving and get out there.
With this group receiving their diplomas, it's time to prepare for a new class of rookies.
They were excited to go through the program, and they told everybody at the day program, so they're all excited to come try it out. So I'm excited to get a whole new group of people to experience the same thing.
Lauren Bradford.
Good job. Good job.
Fox 43.
A dog at a local high school is making a difference in the lives of students and staff. We'll tell you how his role at the facility came to be. A facility dog in the West Shore School District is making high school a bit easier to navigate. In this week's On the Bright Side, Fox 43's Gabrielle Mediak shows us how this four-legged friend is bettering students' lives while celebrating a major milestone.
In the halls of Cedar Cliff High School, one of the most popular staff members doesn't have a degree, but does have a wagging tail.
Kids come to school because they know he's going to be here.
Meet Decker, a gentle Labrador retriever, known by students as Mr. D. He's become a part of the school community. For learning support teacher Deborah Fry, he's more than just a classroom companion. There's also a personal connection.
My younger son is a special education student. He's now an adult, but I did a lot of stuff volunteering for him.
It led her to get involved with United Disability Services in Lancaster, which offers resources for people living with disabilities.
And one of the things that they provide is service dogs, but not everybody gets to that service dog certification. So they need a place for our very smart dogs that come out of the program to have a second career.
Now, despite Decker's intelligence, health issues prevented him from becoming a full-time service animal. But Fry knew he had much more to give.
He is very loving. He is very accepting. Nothing seems to faze him.
She says he provides a unique form of support to kids.
One of the commands he knows is to cover, and that provides deep pressure treatment, that feeling of security. So he was able to, without him knowing, provide some comfort for one of our students here.
And he's always willing to lend a helping paw.
If you need something brought to you or carried down the hallway, he will carry it. He insists on carrying my lunch bag in.
On April 22nd, students returned the favor, taking time out of their busy school days to celebrate a big milestone. Decker's second birthday with a sweet treat. They were able to raise nearly $400 that will go toward his ongoing care.
And all of us here at Fox 43 want to wish Decker a very happy birthday. He's 2 years old, as we mentioned. If you're interested in covering any of his care, you can just head on over to our website on fox43.com. On the bright side, I'm Gabrielle Mediak.
Well, in Dauphin County, an annual tradition continued this week at the Milton Hersh School. The baby ducks in the courtyard of the school's Memorial Hall have hatched. So the school held its 9th annual duck parade, allowing the mother duck to lead her new ducklings from the courtyard through the halls of the elementary school and out the front door. Students lined the halls to watch the event, and school officials say it is always a hit.
Pure excitement. They're so excited about the ducks. They're so excited about being part in this. They love watching them, and then the students will then go down and check them out in the water throughout the rest of the year and kind of watch them grow.
In total, Mama Duck led about 10 newborn ducklings out of the school to a nearby pond. Well, that's going to do it for Fox 43 Featured. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Have a good one.